Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to episode 2 of Dungeon Degenerates, where we're about to get into the gameplay of our very first scenario, or mission as they call them in the book. This one is called On the Run, where we have been, our degenerates, our 3 degenerates, Skag, Bjorn, and Glenda, have been freed from the prison by a jailer who wants us to perform a service for him. And if you didn't watch the last episode, the service that he wants us to perform is to get the head of the soothsayer down here that's been buried and return it to his cousin, who is way up here in Pigskin Port. But we have some other ideas too, some other possibilities. We can get to Gutfish Ford and maybe turn over the head there, get some use out of it on our way to escaping the area, or we can take it to the stone circle and have some wizards take a look at the head to see if there's value. So the question is, so far, well, last I looked, it was tied between going to Pigskin Port, or going to Gutfish Fjord on what people wanted to do. So I still haven't completely decided. Remember, we're not necessarily honorable people. We're criminals who have been freed from jail. Our Bloodsport Brawler, Hinterlander, and Void Witch are not good guys, right? They are degenerates. So we're going to get started with our turn, and they have just been freed. Now the first thing that we have to do is decide. The party member gets to decide what stance we take. Remember, this can be played cooperative, not just solo. In fact, you can play it solo because it is cooperative, but you don't have to. Now the person with the highest morale gets to make the decision on what stance we take, and that would be Skag. Now Skag has a morale of 8 compared to a morale of 6 for Bjorn and a morale of 6 for Glenda. So I think what we're going to do is he is going to pick the stance that we're going to be traveling in, and he's got no time to waste. We're going to take a what we call a bold stance as opposed to a cautious stance. So I'm going to flip everybody's token so it says bold, which means we can move at a greater distance. However, we have a higher risk of encountering things. The good news is that the area, I believe, the location that is supporting this area from a dangerous perspective is going to be the fields, if I'm not mistaken. So if we're at the crossroads, for example, we're going to be in, because this is Brutalberg, we're going to be in the fields territory, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's the foothills. Anyway, we're going to make sure before we get into trouble, but we don't know if we're going to get into trouble yet or not, so we'll have to see. Now, what's going to happen next is our 3 group party members are going to go as a group. They're going to travel the road here across the crossroads. Now, because if they took a cautious stance, they would simply be able to move to the road, and that's where they'd stop. But because we took a bold stance, or rather a bold stance, we're running across the road. We're just trying to avoid the law, really, and coming to the crossroads here. These are part of the field, it says right here. And it is an outdoor area. That's what this little symbol here means, and also means that we can be attacked potentially by the law. So basically the action that we took, just to go through this in actual order, was we took a forced march action. It says travel quickly across a road or explored path and pass a constitution test or become fatigued. So since we took that position, we're going to have to roll a constitution check. Now that simply means that we're going to roll 2 dice, and we have to roll lower than our constitution. Now, our Bloodsport Brawler, Skag, has a constitution of 9, so he wasn't very concerned about it at all. So we're just going to roll to see if Skag becomes fatigued, and we roll a 6, so if Skag does not become fatigued, we're okay there. Then we have Bjorn. Bjorn goes, I don't like to run this fast, and he makes his roll, and wow, we're fine there because he has a constitution of 8. And now Glenda, she's a little concerned because her constitution is only a 5. And let me just move these guys out the way for the moment, and we'll roll them right here. A 5. Awesome. She made her constitution check, so no one became fatigued rushing to the crossroads. But that's where things just get started for us. So we've made it to the crossroads. That is called basically the map action phase, where each party chooses a map action. A party is a group of characters that are together. Now, in a 4-player game, for example, you could split up into 2 groups or whatever, a group of 1 and a group of 3, and those would constitute parties. But being a solo game, I think I'm going to keep our guys together for the most part. At this point, that is my plan. Okay, and they either travel to one other space or conduct a series of rest actions. Well, we didn't need to do any rest actions the first turn. We want to get as far away from Brutalberg as we can because the law is chasing us, and we're going to go pick up that clue that's there. So we've made it to Brutalberg, and I mean to the crossroads to dig up the Soothsayer's Head. Now what happens? To find the Soothsayer's Head, we would have to do an Explore action, which is a map action, so we can't actually do that. We're going to have to stop there. We made it all the way huffing and puffing to the crossroads. None of us really tapped out or anything. We're fine, but then we're going to have to go into the danger phase. This requires that we draw a danger card, and I've been shuffling the danger cards because I hadn't done it yet for this game. Just want to make sure they're all nice and shuffled. And we draw one of these to determine if something bad happens to us or not. There are lots of elements to the danger cards, so when we get them shuffled up, we'll give them one more cut. Let's just do this a couple more times. And I won't do this every time. I'm just going to do it now. We'll do a cut, and we'll draw a danger card and see what we get. So there's our danger card. Let's put the deck to the side for right now. And what do we got? We got, okay, the Witchwood. That's interesting. So it's blue. So heretical cults meet in secret to conduct blasphemous rites amongst the moss-covered branches of the Witchwood. Well, we know that the Witchwood's blue because that's a blue area. And now, if the Hand of Doom was out, it would go to the East Bridge, but it's not. But we do have to go look for the Witchwood here and make a determination. I'm trying to figure out where it is. Oh, it's way over here. Okay. So, up over here you see that the Witchwood is a 4 danger level, and now it is a 5. That is the Witchwood's danger level. And that's what happens when you see that when you get this. Now, we look at our area, and if we have, if the danger level on this card is equal to or lower than the danger level of our area, which the crossroads are tied to the field, so it's a 2, we would have had an encounter. But since that is not the case, we didn't. Now let's just for the sake of discussion for the gameplay say we did. Okay, so if we did, we'd look at this chart down here and we'd say the first thing we notice is this little book symbol. That means we're going to draw an encounter for the area that we're in. Okay, and then we look at how many players we have. We have 3 players, so we would have drawn 4 adversaries to encounter as well. Now, on a encounter card, if it doesn't say play immediately, we have to fight the monsters first, then we encounter the we manage the encounter. Okay, so now we would go to the encounter phase, but we got lucky and the danger card didn't do anything to us. So we have come back around. This is not a bad start for us. Come back around to the our turn and go to the next map action phase. Now we're going to definitely. Now we can recover or rest without taking a without changing our stance to cautious. But since we're going to dig this up, I'm thinking we'll just change our stance to cautious right now, and that will give us the ability to do what we call an explore. Actually, no, you have to be in bold. It says right here you have to be in a bold stance to do that because we're going to explore, and then we're going to pass a perception test in the explored area, and if we succeed, well, I think regardless of that, I'm going to look at the scenario. I think regardless, we get to draw the Soothsayer's Head or the other one, the bad one. It's random. So, well, we have to make a successful explore attempt. So we're going to do that. We're going to take an explore action. So we're going to be in bold. I'm not going to go back to our characters because you know that they're still in a bold stance, which means there's a higher likelihood of an encounter for us. And then we're going to take a explore action in that space, the space where the Soothsayer's Head needs to be dug up. So basically, thematically, we're searching around, we're digging up the area, trying to find the Soothsayer's Head. So we have to pick somebody to take the explore action, and we're going to pick Bjorn because he has perception. And that's what we have to succeed at in order to find the Soothsayer's Head. So Bjorn gets at it. He starts to do that. Now, he is basically, we don't have to do anything else other than search, so we're going to go back and roll the dice and see if he can find the head. The odds are with him. I mean, all we have to do is roll less than 9. Now, it doesn't say you don't put a clue token down, so I'm going to assume that we still put a discovery token down on that space, even if we get the Soothsayer's Head, so I didn't see anything that said differently. But let's go roll our dice. Okay, so far, a nice easy start, and we rolled a 7 on that, so we did succeed in those purple dice. Can you see them okay there? Maybe I'll use the more brightly red colored dice when we're rolling on the board, at least in the blue area. So we did succeed in finding the Soothsayer's Head. So the first thing that you normally do is put one of these tokens down, like so, to show that the area has been successfully explored. I think that's one of the explorer tokens. I'm going to double check that just to be on the safe side. Like I said, these first couple turns I'm probably doing a lot of double checking because There's so many different things that we can do. No, that means metaphysical. I need to do an explorer. Where is that? Oh, I see. It's an eyeball. I got to find the eyeballs. Let me find one of those now. I'll be right back. There we go. That's the appropriate one. We're going to put that right here in the crossroads. It's been explored. And then we're going to get the soothsayer out. And now I'm going to do this. I think the easiest way to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll see which one we get. Hopefully we don't get the fungal parasite. Come on, baby. A 5. We did not. Okay, so we drew the soothsayer's head first. That means we get to discard and ignore the soothsayer's, the fungal parasite. We don't get the negative ill effects of that, but we do get this. And this will go in Bjorn's stuff right now because he is the guy who found it. And let's see, so he's got 3 items right now. And remember, this does have a special ability when we're either in town or camping. It says you may pay the soothsayer's head 1 luck to look at the value of any face-down clue counter. Well, so we don't really have to worry. That really doesn't help us now. It may help us in the future because we know that the value of these clue counters is, they're more markers, not values in this particular scenario. So this one comes off the board. We have successfully found the soothsayer's head, which means we have to look at our mission and see what we have to do next. Okay, it says, we have successfully dug up the soothsayer's head. When you dig up the soothsayer's head, its haunting, raspy voice whispers to you in an ancient tongue. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, if any adventurer in the party meets the requirements of the soothsayer's head, magic 7+, or partisan, they make sense of his desperate pleas to be returned to his home at the stone circle. Oh, there's a plot twist for us, right? If you lose the soothsayer's head, place it in the loot discard pile. Do not place it back into the mission deck. Okay, well, there's only one other card in the mission deck. I think the mission deck is basically the thing that we have to do. So now we have to decide. Now we have some different information. The soothsayer's head wants to be returned to the stone circle. The jailer wants us to return it to his cousin. I don't know. I have to think about this. Maybe this will be a short video where we stop and make that decision now that we have some more information. So now that we've dug up the soothsayer's head, and by the way, I think we just probably end up trading that off to the person that can use it, which would be the Void Witch. It's telling us that please, 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 because we do have someone that meets the criteria of the group, and the criteria was a magic 7. That is only the that's both actually the Hinterlander and the Void Witch have a magic 7, so magic score of 7. So man, I don't know. I just don't know what I want to do there. But that doesn't matter because that was our action. So we dug up the head. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our danger deck and go to the danger phase and draw a danger card because we didn't move anywhere. All we did was dig up the head. Now we do have a clue token there, and we are in bold stance, which means when you're in bold stance, you can take the choice of hunting, or if you're in cautious stance, you can take stealth, which can lower or raise the value of the card. In other words, if you're hunting, you can force an encounter with monsters. I don't know if you'd want to do that because they can be pretty tough, but you never know. So let's get our deck out. We're going to draw our next danger card. We're going to move on to that phase and see what happens. I don't think that I'm missing anything. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not. I think we're okay. I'm just going through the turn sequence here. Yeah, so okay, then we've done our map action. We could have also done a series of rest actions, but we didn't. We wanted to explore, which is what we did. Actually, hold on. I did actually make a mistake. I have to go back. Yeah, I do. Explore is a rest action. So we make camp when we do this thing, this explore thing, right? So see, it sits under rest action. So rest, make camp, or stay in town and perform a number of rest actions. So we can perform any of these, right? So we did that, but we were forced to do the recover. Now we don't have anything to recover, so I don't know. We don't have any statuses or anything, so I would have skipped that anyway, but we did do that. We cannot improve because we can't be in bold stance to do that. We could invest, but we're not in town. We could trade, but we're not in a town. So we ended up okay. I just wanted to go over that and make sure that we handled everything appropriately. All right, now let's draw our next danger card and see what we get. Okay. I still think we're okay. We are okay because it's a 4. Wow, nice. It says, fiends crawl forth from the unknown depths of the vast, hellish chasm spanned only by the ghoulish skull bridge. Okay, so this is going to be in a red area called Skull Bridge. It's way up north. Let's go find it and change the danger level. So up here at Skull Bridge, it is going to become a 5. So danger level 5 at Skull Bridge. Now let's take a look at that card again, because we don't have an encounter. Our area, the field, is still a 2. So this is still not bad for us. We got the head. We're going to get to move out. We do not have an encounter with any baddies in that area. So, and again, how do I know that? Well, it says, okay, this is the stats of the danger cards. Increase the danger level in the area and the location of the territory. We did that. Now, there was no Hand of Doom movement on that one, so that doesn't matter, and the Hand of Doom's not out. Then compare the danger value of your card to the danger level of your space. And if it's lower, then you read the icon key and follow the instructions. It was not lower, so we are more than okay. All right, that's going to basically, then we go into the last part of that phase, which is the recovery phase, I think it is? No. Encounter phase, which we don't have one because we didn't encounter anything again. So, Skag says, I think we're getting off easy with this one, lads. We got the head, we just need to get out of here. What do we do? So, that's our decision. Bjorn says, I think we should take... I lost my accent there. Anyway, Bjorn's going to side with taking it to the stone circle. That seems like the thing he wants to do. But you guys are going to tell me, right? Because I don't know how we're going to manage this. We're going to stop the playthrough right there. I know it's going to be a short episode, but it got us out of Brutalberg. We're on the road. We've dug up the head, and now we have this all-important decision to make. Do we honor the head's wishes and take it to the stone circle? Probably a good reward there. Or do we take it to Pigskin Port to the cousin? Or do we just ignore both those and get the heck out of Dodge, heading toward the Gutfish Ford? That's some heavy decision making for us there. We'll see what we do. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Sorry for the shorter episode. But I really do want some help in this decision making process. So tell me what you think, and we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. We'll probably have a number of fights on the way, because so far we've been blessed and lucky in our adventures. We've been moving along. Of course, we didn't get very far yet, right? We only moved out of Brutalberg. We're only one whole space away, so I shouldn't be too proud of our accomplishments quite yet. But we did solve 50% of our mission in this starting scenario. Also, do keep in mind, this is the starting mission. It is the first one. It's probably supposed to be the easiest. They usually are, right? But we've also seen some increases in danger for certain areas. And as we go along, that will become worse. Remember, if they become 6s and we have to place one again, then we increase the Hand of Doom, or we put a Doom token out, causes problems for us, etc., etc. And the Hand of Doom does then come out of at some point and start messing with us. And we haven't had a fight yet, so that'll be reserved for the next episode. So, thank you for watching, guys. Skag, Bjorn, and Glenda are on their way. I will see you in the next episode.